Okay, this is the last part for square roots that we learned from this lesson. And in these ones, there are square roots that don't work, but we can make them work. And in all the questions I said you wouldn't have to use a calculator, so I have to give you questions that you would be able to solve without one. If I took a look at this one, and I wrote it out as square root of 18, you can't do the square root of 18 because if you go back to the very first video and you looked at that chart with all the ones that worked, square root of 18 doesn't work. Remember, it's not 9 because 9 times 9 is not 18, it's 81. So there is no square root of 18. So what do you do? So here's what you do. You got to turn it into one that works. And what you do is you write the square root, and I want you to think about the square root as like a jail. Okay, so you've got this big, thick jail bars. Okay, if you can't take the square root, it can't leave the jail. So I have to think about two numbers that could make 18, where one of them could leave the jail. So here's what you do. I'm going to choose 9 and 2, but I could have also chosen 6 times 3, because both of them will equal 18. And then what you do, and I'll just change colors, is you look at both of them and you look at seeing if any of them can leave the jail. So can you take the square root of 3? You look on your guide, it doesn't work, so no. Square root of 6? No. So this one doesn't work at all. But this one will. 2, you can't take the square root of 2, because the smallest one we worked with was square root of 4, but you can take the square root of 9 because the square root of 9 is 3. So this one will work. So what you do is you take the guy that square roots. 9 can square root, he leaves. Sorry about that. The 9 can square root. When he gets square roots, he can leave the jail. When he leaves the jail, he's a new man. He is a 3 because the square root of 9 is 3. Okay, then you draw your jail. So I'll go back to my jail. I draw the jail. The one that couldn't leave was the 2. The 2 stuck in jail. So my answer is 3 root 2. And the reason why you still have to write the root is because there's still a 2 stuck in jail. So that's your answer. It's just 3 root 2. And the way to think about this is you want to get out as many people out of jail. And here you've got a whole 18 in jail. Here you've only got 2 in jail. So your goal is to try to get out as many people as you can out of jail. And that's kind of how roots work. Let's take a look at the second one, root 24. Hopefully you'll slowly pick this up. Okay, root 24. Root 24 doesn't work because it's not on our list. And it's not 12 because 12 times 12 is 144. So 24 needs to break down into two numbers. Let's try root of, let's try 8 times 3. And let's try 4 times 6. You could have also used 12 times 2, but one of these will work. Let me just change colors here to blue. Okay, square root of 3? No. Square root of 8? No. Square root of 6? Doesn't work. Square root of 4? Yep. So this one will work. So draw your jail. Okay. And then what you're going to do is take the square root of 4. So the square root of 4 is 2. So the 4 can leave, and when it leaves, it's now 2. It's a new man. But the 6 can't. It's stuck in jail. So you leave it in jail, and your answer becomes just 2 root 6. So the answer for this would just be 2 root 6. What I think I'll do is the video is getting a bit long. Maybe I'll just do this question here. When you have a question like 2 root 18, it might look a little harder, but it's not really that bad. And here, let me explain how you do this question. Hang on, technical difficulties. There we go. So 2 root 18. Okay, how do we do 2 root 18? Well, the 2 is outside of jail. He's like a visitor. He's visiting his friends in jail. We got to take the people out of jail. So you do this same thing, and I'm going to use 9 and 2. You could have used 6 and 3, but 6 and 3 don't work, but 9 and 2 do work. And here's why. 2 you can't take a square root of, 9 you can. So what you do is write this again. You've got 2, and the 9 can leave. He square roots, he leaves jail, he goes and visits his friend outside. He's now free man, he's outside of jail. You still have to write the jail because the 2 is not allowed to leave, it stays inside. So your answer is not going to be 23 root 2, because when you write two numbers beside each other, they're always multiplying. So really you get 6 root 2. So for this answer here, you would have 6 root 2. Okay, I hope that makes it easier. You're only responsible up to this part for the assignment. You're not going to be doing any questions where you're multiplying or dividing yet, or adding, subtracting roots. So I hope this helps. If you have any more questions, you can email me.